Life is full of distractions. It's easy to mistake activity for productivity, to feel like you're accomplishing something simply because you're constantly busy. But here's the truth: busyness is often just a disguise for avoidance. People get so wrapped up in checking off tasks, responding to emails, or addressing every minor issue that comes their way that they forget to ask themselves the most important question: is what I'm doing right now bringing me closer to the life I want? For most people, the honest answer is no. They're majoring in the minor things, dedicating their time, energy, and focus to activities that, in the grand scheme of things, are insignificant. This happens because focusing on minor things feels safe. It's comfortable to stay within the realm of what you know, handling the little tasks that give you a sense of accomplishment. Every time you check off a small box, it feels like progress. But progress is not the same as movement in the right direction. Imagine running on a treadmill. Your legs are moving, your heart is pumping, but you're not actually going anywhere. That's what happens when you spend your days consumed by trivial matters instead of addressing the big, meaningful actions that could transform your life. Think about it. How often do you put off the important work because it feels overwhelming, or because it requires stepping out of your comfort zone? Maybe you avoid having a tough conversation, starting that business you've dreamed of, or committing to a long-term goal because the outcome feels uncertain. Instead, you dive into what's easy: responding to messages, organizing files, or tweaking minor details. But here's the reality: focusing on the small stuff doesn't protect you from failure, it guarantees mediocrity. The difference between people who thrive in life and those who simply survive comes down to what they prioritize. Successful people are crystal clear on their goals, and they don't let the noise of the small things drown out the signal of what truly matters. They know that clarity is power. If you don't have a clear vision of where you're going, you'll spend your days wandering aimlessly, reacting to whatever comes your way. Clarity gives you focus, and focus allows you to channel your energy into the actions that matter most. One of the reasons people struggle to focus on the big picture is fear. Big goals often come with big risks. What if you fail? What if people judge you? What if you don't know how to start? These fears can paralyze you, making it easier to retreat into the comfort of minor tasks. But here's the thing: fear is inevitable, but it's also a compass. The things you fear most are often the things that will lead to the greatest growth. Instead of letting fear hold you back, use it as a guide. If something scares you, it's probably worth pursuing. Growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. It happens when you push yourself to take on challenges that force you to grow. Another trap people fall into is thinking they'll focus on the big things later. They tell themselves, I'll start working on my goals once I've cleared my inbox, or I'll pursue my passion when life settles down. But guess what? Life never settles down. There will always be more emails, more distractions, more minor things competing for your attention. Waiting for the perfect moment is just another way of procrastinating. The perfect moment doesn't exist. The only time you have is now. And every moment you spend on minor things is a moment you're stealing from your future. It's also important to understand that not all minor things are bad. Some of them are necessary. You can't completely ignore your responsibilities or the daily tasks that keep your life running smoothly. But the key is to put them in their proper place. Instead of letting the small things dominate your schedule, find ways to minimize them. Delegate tasks that don't require your unique skills or attention. Automate repetitive processes. Set boundaries to protect your time. Remember, every minute you spend on something minor is a minute you're taking away from something major. To focus on the big picture, you need to start by defining what the big picture is. What do you truly want in life? What's your ultimate vision? For some people, it's financial freedom. For others, it's creating a meaningful impact in their community, spending more time with loved ones, or pursuing a passion that sets their soul on fire. Whatever it is, you need to get clear on it. Write it down. Visualize it. Feel it. Because once you have a clear vision, it becomes easier to filter out the distractions. If something doesn't align with your goals, it doesn't deserve your energy. The next step is to prioritize ruthlessly. Every morning, ask yourself, what's the one thing I can do today that will make the biggest impact on my goals? Focus on that. It doesn't mean you have to neglect everything else, but it does mean you need to tackle the most important tasks first before the distractions start piling up. It's about being proactive instead of reactive, taking control of your time instead of letting it control you. Another powerful tool is the art of saying no. This is something many people struggle with because they want to be liked, helpful, or seen as a team player. But every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your goals, you're saying no to something that does. Saying no isn't selfish, it's necessary. It's about protecting your time and energy so you can focus on what truly matters. Remember, your time is your most valuable resource. You can always make more money, but you can't make more time. It's important to regularly check in with yourself. Are you still on track with your goals, or have you started slipping back into old habits? Self-awareness is crucial because it allows you to course correct before you get too far off track. Make it a habit to reflect on your progress and adjust your approach as needed. The journey to success is rarely a straight line, but as long as you're moving in the right direction, you're making progress. The truth is, life is short and time is precious. Every moment you spend majoring in minor things is a moment you'll never get back. If you want to live an extraordinary life, you have to make extraordinary choices. You have to let go of the distractions and focus on what truly matters. It's not always easy, but it's worth it. Because at the end of the day, the difference between success and failure isn't talent, luck, or resources, it's focus. Successful people focus on the big things. They invest their time and energy in what matters most. And they refuse to let the small stuff get in the way of their dreams. So the question is, are you ready to do the same? If you want to elevate your life, you must make one critical decision to raise your standards and commit to taking massive action. This principle separates those who succeed from those who stay stuck. The reason so many people fall short of their potential isn't because they lack talent, resources, or opportunities, it's because they settle. They settle for comfort over growth, for mediocrity over excellence, for excuses over results. The moment you decide to stop tolerating anything less than your best is the moment your life begins to transform. Raising your standards means redefining what you expect of yourself. Most people live according to the standards they've inherited, standards set by society, family, or their past experiences. But those standards aren't necessarily designed to lead to greatness. They're often designed to keep you safe, to make you fit in, to avoid rocking the boat. If you want to live an extraordinary life, you can't play by ordinary rules. You have to demand more from yourself than anyone else ever would. This isn't just about wanting more. A lot of people want success, happiness, and fulfillment. But wanting isn't enough. You have to make it a must. When something is a must, it becomes non-negotiable. Think about it. You don't try to breathe, you must breathe. It's not an option. The same should be true for your goals and dreams. When you raise your standards, you move from I wish I could to I will no matter what. That shift in mindset is where true power begins. However, raising your standards alone isn't enough. You have to back it up with massive action. And not just any action, consistent, purposeful, relentless action. Success doesn't come from doing the right thing once in a while. It comes from doing the right thing over and over until it becomes a part of who you are. This is where most people falter. They get inspired, take a few steps, and then stop when things get hard. But here's the reality: every big goal comes with obstacles. Every dream worth chasing will test your limits. That's why massive action is so critical. It's about committing to the process, not just the outcome. Massive action means going beyond what's comfortable. It's easy to do what you've always done. It's predictable and safe. But if you keep doing what you've always done, you'll keep getting what you've always gotten. Growth requires discomfort. It means waking up earlier, working harder, learning new skills, and putting yourself in situations that challenge you. It's not about being reckless, it's about being relentless. Every step you take, no matter how small, builds momentum. And momentum is the key to overcoming resistance. One of the biggest reasons people fail to take massive action is fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of uncertainty. It paralyzes them. But here's the truth: fear isn't the enemy. In fact, fear is often a sign that you're on the right path. If your goals don't scare you, they're probably not big enough. Instead of running from fear, use it as fuel. Let it remind you that you're stepping into new territory, that you're growing, that you're alive. Fear will never go away completely, but you can learn to move forward in spite of it. Another critical piece of taking massive action is staying consistent. Consistency beats intensity every time. You can't just sprint toward your goals for a week and then stop. Success is a marathon, not a sprint. It's about showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it, even when progress seems slow, even when no one is watching. Consistency compounds over time. Small actions repeated consistently lead to massive results. It's the principle of compounding in action. But let's be real, taking massive action isn't always easy. There will be days when you feel tired, discouraged, or overwhelmed. That's why you need to anchor yourself to a strong why is your reason for pushing forward. It's the fuel that keeps you going when things get tough. Maybe your why is to provide a better life for your family, to prove to yourself that you're capable, or to create a legacy that outlives you. Whatever it is, it has to be bigger than your excuses. When your why is strong enough, nothing can stop you. A big part of taking massive action is embracing failure as a stepping stone. Most people avoid taking big actions because they're afraid of failing, but failure isn't the opposite of success, it's a part of it. Every successful person you admire has failed more times than you can count. The difference is they didn't let failure define them. They used it as feedback. Every setback taught them something valuable. Every stumble helped them refine their approach. Failure is only fatal if you let it stop you. It's also crucial to surround yourself with people who elevate your standards and inspire massive action. If you're spending time with people who settle for less, who complain, or who make excuses, their mindset will rub off on you. Success isn't just about what you do, it's about who you're becoming. And who you're becoming is influenced by the people around you. Seek out mentors, peers, and role models who push you to be better. Let their energy fuel your own. Taking massive action also means being adaptable. Sometimes the path you thought would lead to success won't work out. That's okay. Success is rarely a straight line. What matters is your willingness to pivot, to try new approaches, to keep moving forward. Flexibility isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. The most successful people are those who can adapt to challenges without losing sight of their vision. Finally, remember that raising your standards and taking massive action isn't just about achieving goals, it's about who you become in the process. Every time you push yourself to do more, to be more, you're building a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. You're proving to yourself that you're capable of more than you ever imagined. That's where the true magic lies, not in the destination, but in the journey. So ask yourself, what are you tolerating in your life right now that's keeping you stuck? What excuses are you clinging to? What standards do you need to raise? And most importantly, what massive actions will you take today to move closer to the life you deserve? Because at the end of the day, success isn't about luck, talent, or resources. It's about decisions. The decision to raise your standards. The decision to take massive action. And the decision to never settle for less than you're capable of. As we've explored, the keys to an extraordinary life are clarity, focus, elevated standards, and relentless action. Most people fail not because they lack potential, but because they allow themselves to be consumed by the trivial. They settle for being busy instead of being effective, comfortable instead of courageous, and reactive instead of proactive. But you don't have to be like most people. You've learned that success begins with clarity, defining what truly matters to you and filtering out the noise that distracts you from your purpose. You've seen how raising your standards sets the foundation for an extraordinary life, where you no longer tolerate mediocrity or excuses. And most importantly, you now understand the immense power of taking massive action consistently and purposefully until your vision becomes reality. But none of this matters unless you decide to act. Right now, not tomorrow, not when the timing feels right, but today. This moment is your opportunity to make a choice. Will you continue to major in the minor, letting life pass you by? Or will you step up, raise your standards, and take the bold, massive actions that will change your life forever? The truth is, greatness isn't reserved for a select few. It's available to anyone willing to claim it. The question isn't whether you're capable, the question is whether you're willing. Willing to let go of your fears, excuses, and distractions. Willing to challenge yourself, push your limits, and do what others won't. Remember this, the future doesn't just happen, it's created. Your actions today are the seeds of your tomorrow. And the life you deserve, the dreams you've carried in your heart, are waiting for you on the other side of commitment, focus, and relentless effort. So I challenge you, walk out of here today with a decision. Decide that from this moment forward, you will no longer settle for less than you're capable of. Decide to focus on the big things that truly matter and let go of the small distractions that hold you back. Decide to take massive, consistent action toward your dreams, no matter how daunting they seem. Because when you raise your standards and back them with unstoppable action, you'll unlock a power within yourself that you never knew existed. You'll become the person you were always meant to be, living a life of purpose, passion, and impact. The world is waiting for you to rise. Your dreams are waiting for you to claim them. So step up, take charge, and go create the extraordinary life you were born to live. Let's go.